I always pick a favorite character, and my favorite character always dies. It always fucking happens. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. We are rapidly approaching the end, and, I started this season saying, God, will we just save Zenith, right? I believe that I was just... Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe it was even last season. Last season I might have been going on about saving Zenith. I don't remember. I just remember that I repeated time and time again how important it was that we rescue Zenith. And here we are at the very end, and still haven't saved Zenith. But I'm hoping we're getting close there, even though I have said multiple times now as well, I'm worried one of the parents is not coming back from this alive. And I think my first one was I thought Paul wasn't coming back alive, and then I pivoted to Zenith. You know what? I don't even have this in my notes, but I'm going to say it here now. I think maybe she's trapped in Crystal. I think before that I said that I thought she was sitting on a throne because of the opening sequence. And when we pan back, and we'll see this again, obviously, it's probably going to be the same opening sequence, that it looks like she's naked and trapped in Crystal. Actually, maybe I do have a note about this, because I think it might be related to a curse. And I think I mentioned something about the curse in my notes, so I'll hold off on talking about that. But my worry is still the element that Zenith might not return. Which I guess might be the whole ghost thing that we kind of see in the opening and ending sequence, where he keeps seeing his family as ghosts behind him. But I'm pretty sure Paul's coming back. I don't know. Anyway, yes, we've got no comments on Mushoku Tensei right now. The board, unchanged. So I guess the only thing to go into here is the notes that I've written down from last episode. I suppose I don't really understand Roxy carving the X's into the wall. I know I laughed at it in the direct reaction, but on rewatch I was still questioning it. I would think that the thing to do here would be to mark it just once, to indicate that you've been there before. As an indication that this isn't a brand new teleportation point. Benefit of the doubt, maybe she wants to know how many times she's been there. Then I would have thought that she'd just do a tally mark. Then you can count how many tallies, if you ever want to know, and it's literally one less scroll to make than making the X's that she's making. Difference between versus eh. Just as I was thinking that couldn't be why, she gets to the part where she collapses and asks how many times she's been here. So, yeah, tally marks would have answered that question, leaving me just as confused as to the purpose of the multiple X's. Also, she didn't, put them, in one spot or in a row or anything. She, X'd all over the place. Some of the X's are covering other X's. Let's see. In Roxy's defense to the whole "what's your name" thing, she's obviously not forgotten who Rudy is. They were exchanging letters right up until her service under Pax, which wasn't that long ago from the teleportation incident. She was even thinking of him back at the port, past the letter writing ages. It's more that she hasn't seen or heard him since he was 5. He's gone through puberty since then. That's a forgivable lapse, I think. I had a passing thought about how Roxy is outwardly ageless, and the age difference between her and Rudy, which I guess isn't a difference at all, considering that how much older she is probably is equivalent to how much older Rudy is mentally as well. Either way, this note is actually about how much older Rudy's monologue sounds to his actual voice. Sorry, his internal monologue. Considering the age difference of his original body to his current one, and I had to wonder if we might reach a point in the future where physical Rudy's voice will get older than his internal monologue. And what happens then? will he think in the voice that he's had longer than that other life, or will he maintain the old inner monologue forever? I can only see it being the latter, due to the fact that I believe the inner monologue and his voice are two different voice actors, so changing it would screw somebody out of their real life job. I think with that consideration in place, you don't fire a guy, or, sorry, a person, you don't fire a person because the inner monologue changed because you got older. I mean, maybe. Technically, there was a different voice actor for when Rudy was a child, so it just seems weird to have like 3 seasons of the same internal monologue voice and then changing it because Rudy ages to the monologue voice's age. So, like, when Rudy turns 34, do we use actual Rudy voice actor? And I think you get what I'm saying. I don't think I have to keep elaborating. I know Rudy suggested that this world might consider trauma to be a curse. And this is, by the way, that note that I was referring to before. And that's why they needed to get Roxy back into the labyrinth as soon as possible to get her over it. But at the same time, I have to wonder if that is entirely true. Like, what if Rudy is wrong and not everything here has a one-to-one with our world? What if Zenith was cursed by a labyrinth and that's why she can't get out now? Like, Rudy's taking the curse talk to be metaphorical, and it's actually quite literal. I mean, what if that? I mean, he's traveling with someone that's cursed and has to actively use magic to suppress it. But he isn't pushing Elenice's condition to a psychological issue instead, right? It'd be like if he was trying to treat. It's like if he was trying to treat Elenice's condition as like a sexual addiction rather than a magical curse placed upon her. So it seems weird knowing that that's one of his traveling companions and her condition labeled as a curse, to think that the whole labyrinth thing as a curse is a psychological condition that Roxy has to get over and not a magical condition like everything else in this world seems to be. I think lastly here, a random thought I had while watching Roxy lean up against Rudy's back and thinking about their relationship. I wonder if this show is going to do a a cyclical nature of time thing. In that, I mean that Elenice never really recovered. Sorry, I am just fluxing up my own comments here. I mean that Elenice never really covered what her and Paul were arguing about back in the past, but we do know that Paul changed and got more energetic when Zenith joined the party. What if Elenice and Paul were a thing before Zenith? I mean, the way Elenice's curse works and Paul's libido and past crimes, I can't imagine Elenice and Paul not hooking up at least once before whatever annoyances Paul has would have gotten on her nerves. Anyway, here's Rudy, already attached to Sylphette, and then Roxy joins the party, and he's gotten all energetic. It's not something I'm hoping happens. I've rallied against the harem situation many times now, but my mind is constantly exploring all the angles presented to us here. Actually, speaking of Paul, I do have one last note. I feel like a real idiot. Taking my notes near the end of the episode, Paul was giving us his speech about his 2 swords, and I was probably staring off blankly or making a Witcher joke during the actual reaction last episode. It never occurred to me that he was talking about Lilia and Zenith and using his swords as an analogy. The fact that Rudy just leaps to figuring out the teleportation room without considering it didn't help me with that either. But damn it, Paul, he's pushing Rudy for the harem too. The very character I had myself drawn as is working against me. So yeah, once again, human god with the 2 cat girls. My own theory that time is cyclical, and Rudy's gonna wind up with Roxy anyway, somehow. The fact that Paul is pushing Rudy to have a second wife, girlfriend, whatever. Please don't. I want this to be a pure Wonder Years style relationship thing happening, right? I don't need him to have a second wife. I don't need Eris to show back up and Rudy being like, take me back, you know? Doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. Anyway, those are my notes. As always, hit me up in the comment section if you have anything to say about how wrong I am about everything. It happens all the time. I don't even think anything of it anymore. Either way, I say let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
この先いるな。どうするパウロ？まだ余裕はあるが、一旦戻るってのも手だぜ。いや、進む。それぞれの装備の確認をしよう。了解。
ルディ、私のスクロール何個か持っておきますか？そうですね。
So this has to be where the fight's gonna happen, right? Because this is gonna go to the 6th level.
どんなガーディアンがいるのかはわかりませんが、こちらの戦力は十分です。
Essentially the fight from the opening.
お願いします。どうにも俺はビビり癖があるので。はい、背中任せてください。
よし。全員準備はいいか。ルディ。
何でしょうか。
この状況でこんなことを言うのも悪いと思うんだがな。
じゃあ言わないでください。
お。
Yeah, like don't have that speech about Roxy that was gonna hurt morale. Ah, come on. I was really hoping to at least see the floor of the room that they were gonna teleport into. Because I've seen the opening so many times, like all the times I've taken notes about it. That I think I would at least recognize the floor of the room that they have the fight with the Hydra in, to know that that was the Guardian. If that's the indication that the Hydra is the Guardian, what does that imply about Zenith? If she is trapped in a crystal, like I suspected that I thought I saw her in last time I saw the opening. Also, clearly, she's looking in a mirror. I got that one wrong, too, about the mask thing. If she... See, yeah, there's crystals in the back. She clearly seems to be frozen. Does that imply all the other crystals in the room are other people who got trapped here? It also seems like the Hydra has some sort of crystalline growth along its back, so... could be that sort of thing. So maybe that's why she's not there. Maybe they do save her, but they have to figure out how to get her out of the crystal. There's enough episodes left in the season where I have to think maybe that could be a season 3 thing. Just trying to figure this out. No, this is the room. This is the fight. Who builds this place? Yeah, I mean, exactly though. What is she doing in there? I mean, the real danger is that you don't want to miss it and hit the crystal that Zenith's in. Yeah, see, Paul doesn't even need to see the future. Paul's motivated. The problem is this a regenerating Hydra? Is he getting all its heads back? Yeah, not helpful that you have 3 magic users and 2 fighters. Rock called it too. It's fucking Hercules' problem. I know they're making the right move, but I am still 100% with Paul on this one. She's in sight. She's in sight for the first time in over a season. I gotta rescue Zenith. I mean, she might not be breathing inside of a crystal. What do you mean? I mean, I guess if you isolated in your room the whole time.
7歳の時に別れてから10年近く会ってない。
とりあえず現状の整理をしましょう。あのガーディアンには魔術が効かなかった。凄まじい再生能力。触れただけでエリナリーゼさんの防御を突破できるほどの攻撃。
I feel like this is exactly the argument that I make about Sayla and Char in Mobile Suit Gundam. About how long they've actually known each other. I will admit there is a bit of a momentum there that Paul has that he's losing by not being in the fight.
パウロとこんな風になるのは初めてじゃない。今回はちょっと歯車が狂っただけだ。
ゼニスさんの結晶化ですが、なんとかできると思います。
本当か？
私も今のゼニスと似たようなことになった人物を知っていますけど、ちゃんと今も生きていますわ。問題は例のガーディアン。私も初めて見る種類ですわ。
見りゃヒュドラってのはわかるが、あんな鱗を持ってる種なんて聞いたことねえ。しかも再生までしよった。
あれはおそらくマナタイトヒュドラです。本で読んだ
I
こ
just
と
to
がありま
note,
す。
yeah, I recognize that my subtitles are a bit out of
てっきりおとぎ話だと
out
思
of
ってい
sync.
ましたが、
I'll fix that in the editing later.
魔力を吸収ってことは、俺たちは奴にダメージを与えられないということですか？
本に書いてあったことが本当なら、ゼロ距離で打ち込めば通用するはずです。
I guess thank God that Rudy is a magician slash swordsman.
ヒュドラの首は火で炙れば再生しないと聞いたことがあります。
ギリシャ神話の英雄ヘラクレスの話だ。
Heracles, Hercules, we know we're both talking about the same guy.
切り口を松明で炙ると再生を阻止することができたらしい。所詮は神話、信憑性は薄いが。
なるほど。傷口を焼くか。
傷口なら鱗で魔術が弾かれる可能性も低いです。
試してみる価値はあるか。よし、じゃあそれで行ってみるか。おいパウロ、それでいいな。ああ。
See, that's what I'm saying. Paul's losing the momentum.
あいつの首を切れるのはお前しかいねえんだぞ。
パウロが首を落とし、俺が即座に焼く。場合によっては、俺も危険な立ち位置になる。
エリナリーゼ、タルハンド、ギース、それにロキシー。お前らには今まで世話をかけた。本当に考えられないぐらいすげえ尽力をしてもらったと思ってる。けどそれもこれで終わりだ。ゼニスを助けるか、仮に助けられなくても俺の家族はみんな見つかった。これで最後なんだ。力を貸してくれ。
かしこまるなんてあなたらしくありませんわ。
ここまで来て力を貸さんアホはおらんわい。
パウロも随分と丸くなっちまったな。
Yes, I did not expect Tall Hand to be a magic user. That's also a weird thing for me.
私たちの旅が報われるというものです。
ルディ、お前は本当に頼りになる息子だ。
そういうお世辞はヒュドラを倒した後にしましょう。
お世辞じゃねえ。本当にそう思ってる。俺はお前みたいに冷静にもなれねえ。アイディアも出せねえ。がむしゃらに突っ込むことしか考えてなかったバカだ。ダメな親父だ。息子のお手本にはなれそうもねえ。それを分かった上で言わせてもらう。親の言うべきことじゃねえとは思ってるけどな。いいか。
はい。
Better not be like sacrifice your life to save your mom. Oh, yeah, fuck it, that's what it is.
はい。
I mean, I get it.
よし、行くぞ。
確かに親の言うべきことではない。しかしそれはパウロの覚悟であり。
I mean, I think it just shows how much Paul cares about Zenith.
それに応えるだけだ。ゼニスを助ける。その目的のために。
It's supposed to be the other way around. It's supposed to, parents supposed to lay down their life for, you know. At least he can keep coming back and forth.
よし、行くぜ。
What happens if you put the Hydra in the teleportation portal? Yeah, the old get eaten path.
やはり接近してぶち込むしかないか。
予定通りですね。行けますか？
大丈夫です。
ルディ、俺の背中から離れるんじゃねえぞ。
はい。
I mean, thankfully, he's got the future sight thing. That'll help. And these are the blasting fucking we're hitting Orsted with.
有効です。
よっしゃ。
Okay, still harmful. I didn't know if he was calling out Roxy was dead or Elenise just got her arm ripped off. It's like, fucking hell, man, no. I was legit just about to say the person at the most risk is Tall Hand. As he's literally a character we've got next to no backstory with. Oh, it's gonna tear off the burn parts to... Yeah. Oh man, this is a what do you do when the enemy's too smart? I feel like somebody was sitting around thinking about what was the flaw in the Hercules story, and they came up with this. Rudy's dispel magic thing? No, okay. This is some Naruto level shit. I guess fire breath isn't magic, so we couldn't have dispelled it. Twice. Fucking twice. What the fuck? Did you just lose an arm? Can we regenerate arms? I know we regenerated trees. Also, where was Paul? Did Paul get crushed? Oh, okay. Wait. Not all the way. It looks like a stump.
この魔術では失われた部位は元に戻りきらない。でも落ち着け。ヒュドラ相手に左手だけで済んだんだ。パウロが助けてくれなければ死んでいた可能性も高いだろう。
助かりました、父さん。
Oh fuck, did I call it right the first time that Paul's not the one coming back?
父さん？
fuck? Your fucking fault, Rudy. Twice he had to fucking save you. Regret, man. If you go there, you'll regret. No! Ah, God damn it, I called it right the first time. At least Zenith is fine, but Jesus, damn it. I'm also a curse, by the way. I always pick a favorite character, and my favorite character always dies. It always fucking happens. Unavoidable. But I've been watching this show for so long now that I fucking forgot my own curse.
お疲れ様でした。あとは私に任せて、ゆっくりとお休みください。
Sometimes you have to wonder if you willed things into existence.
もう4日眠ったままです。もしかしたらこのまま。奥様、おはようございます。
Ah, what an extremely Pyrrhic victory this has turned out to be.
母さん。奥様、ルーデウス様ですよ。あれから10年近く経ったのです。
Oh, don't have amnesia.
もしかして。
Oh god, it's fucking Temuray situation all over again. Was the opening a lie? Was the opening of the show a lie? Because, I came up with the whole thing about who might not come back, right? Based on the opening. And we saw Paul at Rudy's home. And Paul's never been there. How many episodes do we have left? Maybe I'm just in denial right now, but we've got 2 episodes left. I don't foresee Paul coming back from the dead, but again, maybe I am in denial. But the opening of the show shows him there. I felt like maybe there's many places that look like Rudy's home, right? I guess it could be any number of places with a fence that looks like Rudy's fence. Maybe that was the trick. Maybe the trick of the opening was that they showed us a bunch of very obvious stuff so that you'd be like, oh, obviously it's Rougeard that's coming back. And that's the kids, so obviously it's Rougeard and the kids. That's Ginger. Oh, obviously that's what's happening here. So that we then see other things in the opening that we then believe to be those true things as well, because if this part of the opening is obvious, then that part of the opening must be obvious. And god damn it. And then for Zenith to be this way, I mean, I don't know how you survive being coated in crystal. But I feel like the obvious thing that they're doing here, and if you don't know why I said Tem-Ray situation, in Mobile Suit Gundam, past the part where we've watched already, in the very beginning, Tem-Ray gets sucked out into space, right? And I guess everyone thinks he's dead. I put him as a question mark on the board, but everyone thinks he's dead. And then nearish the end, maybe 15 episodes from the end of Mobile Suit Gundam, he shows back up somewhere, and that is the emotional impact for Amuro, the main character of that show, is that his dad isn't the same person anymore, that he's gotten brain damage from lack of oxygen from floating out in space. He's not to the degree Zenith is here, which is what I suspect is happening to Zenith. It's not that she is amnesiac or anything, that she is brain damaged, I guess, is what I would say here. Because how do you breathe in a crystal? And she's been down there for how long? That is a Tem-Ray situation. That I don't know. I'm hurt. I'm hurt by this. I don't know what to say here. I don't have thoughts about the episode anymore. I'm so caught off guard by. Even when Rudy lost his arm, I couldn't even focus on the arm thing because obviously the thing that they would do is shove him out of the way to then make somebody else pay the price. Yeah. And it's the fact that Rudy had to have it done twice, right? Paul calls him an idiot, shoves him out of the way. Rudy gets lost in the moment, and then Rudy has to get shoved out of the way again. I'm sorry. I understand that there's going to be an element of this wasn't your fault, but I don't know how, if you are Rudy, you can't see this as not your fault. Literally, if I was him, I would be in the moment I wasn't paying attention. My dad had to save me, and in that, he died saving me. Thinking back to the start of the season, right, how despondent he was, and how he was going to kill himself and Sarah was going to leave him. I don't know where you go from here. Obviously, next episode is going home. At least he has that safety net back home. But, God, this show, man. This show constantly is leading you up a trail, and at the top of the trail is a fucking cliff every time. And I don't know how I keep forgetting. I don't know if I'm forgetting or if I just never know when it's going to come, right? I guess maybe they have a habit of sideswiping you, right? Because human God, right? Talking about regret. And constantly, my thought has been is Sylphie okay? Is the baby okay? Where do we go, right? Did not think. I guess I did. I constantly did think too, because I kept guessing, if is Paul not making it home? Is Zenith not making it home? In no nightmare of my imagination did I imagine that kind of both of them aren't coming home. I mean, Zenith is physically coming home, but mentally she is no longer there. I guess there's the element that we did introduce, the fact that Zenith's family, although they introduced the concept of Zenith's family is not great either. And by not great, I mean they're not great in a not social sense, in a they look down on others hard kind of sense, that they might not accept their daughter this way. It's just the element that her sister seems to work with like a church group or cult group, I don't know, that she might have access to powers that might be able to save her. I guess there's also the element here that they've very well introduced the concept of where next season would have to go, right? But how much of Rudy's life can Rudy spend saving other people? I understand he's a main character. Sorry, the voice is breaking here. I understand he's the main character in an anime, right? And that main characters in anime have a specific job, which is to save people, be the heroes, etc. But how much of his life can he not live living other people's lives? I don't know if that's even an appropriate question now, considering everything that's happened. Because he is supposed to be also living a real life. Like, he's supposed to be... I don't know, man. I am so fucking lost right now. It's funny how much I've invoked Made in Abyss right now, because that feels like a Made in Abyss heartbreak. Except Made in Abyss would have also stacked layers of backstory on you. Just tell you exactly how shit your situation is. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here. I cannot think of any way. I'm going to come back with so many notes, I imagine. I imagine there's going to be so many notes following this. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here before I just ramble on for another hour. So, yeah. Once again, I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?